Find sine of theta, cotangent theta using the given information. Cosine is negative, and cosecant is, what does that mean, class? Which is?
Negative.
That's a negative. This is a fancy way of saying negative. They're telling me specific trig functions are either positive or negative. Well, I can think of an acronym that can help me. What does it cost? A stands for all trig functions. S stands for sine and cosecant are positive. Tangent and cotangent are positive. Cosine and secant are positive. Watch how I help myself think about which quadrant. Cosine is negative. Think about it. I want to actually know where cosine is positive. Well, cosine is positive here in quadrant 1. I'm putting in X for no. What does this mean?
No.
No, it is not negative. It's positive. Here, cosine is positive, but I don't want it to be here.
No.
So that means cosine is negative in quadrants 2 and 3. The check means yes, it is negative. Let me highlight that negative. Let's pick another one. Cosecant is negative. Let's think about it. I'm looking for negative, but I want to start with the positives. I know that it's positive here and here. Well, I'm not looking for positive, I'm looking for what?
Negative.
That means I know it's going to be negative in quadrants 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Well, I look at my checks, and yes, in quadrant 3, it is both cosine is negative, and cosecant is both negative.
Oh.
So in this quadrant now, I can draw my triangle. It tells me a clue. Cosine of theta is negative 8 over 17. Well, I know that cosine is x over r. That is correct. So if I draw my bow tie triangle, I have theta. Notice how it does not tell me if it's a 30, 60, 90, or 45, 45, 90. But I do know that x is 8 and r 17. The question is, which one of these is negative? Can the r value be negative?
No.
R value is always positive. That means the x value is what?
Negative.
Negative 8. I can use Pythagorean theorem. R squared equals x squared plus y squared. I already have the r value, which is 17, so I have 17 squared equals negative 8 squared plus y squared. Put in your calculator, 17 squared. What is it? Negative 8 squared. If you subtract 64 from both sides, and you take the square root, you'll get. Now, pay attention. When the y value is going down, is it going to be positive or negative? Remember, you actually have both. Are you paying attention? You actually have positive and negative 15, but in this case, I'm going to use negative because I'm going down. Negative 15. Alright, so now that I have the x, y's, and r's, I can go ahead and solve for my two trig functions they've asked me. Sine, which is y over r, and cotangent, which is x over y. My y value is negative 15. My r value is 17. Sine of theta is negative 15 over 17. you'll notice that sine is negative, and that makes sense because in this quadrant, only tangent and cotangent are positive, everything else is negative. To find cotangent, I'm going to do x over y, which is negative 8 over negative 15. Negative over negative is what class? 8 over 15. Notice here cotangent is positive, and that makes sense in quadrant 3. Tangent and cotangent are positive. So first thing you do, take your clues, try to figure out a quadrant. Second thing, make sure you have all your x, y's, and r's, and then you can find your two trig functions.